What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel. This your boy Anthony here, back with another video, man. And we decide to do an overview at this random park that I have found, man. I feel like it's the perfect location, you know, because look, I get to see the color, I get to see the new decals that I put on the front, and I get to just really enjoy the aesthetics of this car with Mother Nature behind it. So like that, we're just gonna talk about the overview of this car. I have 2,500 miles on this car, man. So I've been spending a lot of good time with it, and I feel like it's time for me to do an overview. And I feel like the more I drive it, I'm representing the motto and my brand right here. Time flies when you drive, man. And this car has proven it to me time after time again. So we just gonna get into the aesthetics, the overview of this SS1LE, and do I miss the 2016 2SS that I had in the past. So jumping into this, just aesthetic wise, it's the front end of this new refresh Camaro is growing on me, man. I actually prefer the 16 through 18, but maybe because I had it for so long. But the more I look at it, I do like this refresh, and I'm not saying that because I own it, but the more I look at it, it's starting to grow on me, and I like the aggressive look. But the other one is aggressive too, but I don't know, I like this one more. And just looking at it aesthetically wise, GM has approved on like the hood, because that has been proven that the old hood extraction was not as good on the older model, and this one was proven to be better. Aesthetically, looking at the SS1LE, it's a better looking car over any other platform that GM sells. Just looking at it coming out the box, the SS1LE is one of the best looking cars out there, next to the ZL1 1LE. And I feel like I want to own this color, to be honest with you guys, with it just without the black accents. And I feel like the black accents make this car tremendously look better. So the overview of the car, I feel like if y'all know my last Camaro, if you look at it, you know, check it out on the channel. I got a bunch of videos on that. I feel like this car saved me money, because when I had an SS, I was trying to build it to be an SS1LE. And now owning the SS1LE, this is the better buy. And instead of trying to make it be something that it's not, this is just better option here. So just looking at it, there's a few things that I like about this SS1LE over the regular 2SS, and that is the 6-piston brakes that you get with that. I love the wheel and tire package that you get with that. On the regular SS's, you just get the run flats, 245 on the front, 275 on the rear, where the 1LEs, you get the 285 on the front, 305s on the rear. And what's so cool about it, like if you don't have an SS and you see somebody selling these tires, you can get this exact setup on your car. So that's a cool thing there. Also, where I'm saving money on the 1LE is like it comes with a splitter, which is nice. The last one, the regular SS's don't come with splitters, and then you have to buy a whole ground effect kit, you know, for the splitter and the spoiler if you want to. And I feel like the spoiler on the SS is small, you know. And then you don't get the mirrors. The black mirrors only come on the SS1LE. It don't come on any trim package, so that's nice. On my last one, I wrapped it. So I wrapped the hood, I wrapped the mirrors on my last one to make it look like this. So that's the aesthetic piece of it. The rear, I never been like a big fan of the wicker bill type, but now that I own one, the only reason I really like it, to be honest, is because I got my slogan on the back of here. But maybe I get it bigger over time, but I do like the clean look and what it's being used for. Based on my ownership, it's just really learning how to drive it. And I just came back from some back roads in this car for the first time, pushing it, because 80 degrees today, man. And I feel like the tires are warmed up, and now I can really push this car to the limits. Well, I'm still learning how to drive it more, but I'm pushing to the limits for me, I shall say, not the car limits. And the suspension is way better than the SS. To the average person that doesn't really track their car or study their car or really understand or came from what I had before, like a 2SS to a SS1 LE, they wouldn't be able to tell you the difference unless they did that. And both of my cars had magnetic ride control. This has magnetic ride control, of course. Regular SS, if you guys didn't know, is on the FE3 suspension, and the 1LE is on the FE4 suspension. And I can tell you that based on my opinion and difference about this is that tour mode feel like sport mode on the SS, and sport mode feel like track mode on a regular SS. And then track mode is definitely a lot more stiffer than the regular SS. It's very little, but I can tell the difference. Like, I just finished riding on like a bumpy road and in track mode, and I pretty much drive this car in track mode all the time, but with the steering wheel setting on sport until I'm at a track, because it's a little bit more stiff. The stiffness of the steering wheel is still the same, but I can definitely tell the difference in the suspension, and it's worth it. A lot of people was asking me, like, so far, will I lower the car setup? It actually looks good on the 20s. I may lower it, but I still got to do research on the suspension piece. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna lower it and then I have to change the center of gravity. Even though it looks good, I don't want to take away from the performance yet because I want to track it. So with that being said, we're just gonna jump into like the interior. I swear, having a manual, this car snap, crackles, and pop more on the startup, man. It's phenomenal. I really like the startup on having a manual versus the automatic. It didn't do that until you really stepped on the throttle. So one thing I am noticing. Oh my gosh, man, like those pops in second gear is crazy, man. And like going around the curves, like if I had to compare against my 2SS versus this, I'm not going hard enough in the curve to explain it, to say like one is better than the other right now. But I guarantee, like, once I'm really pushing the car, it would be a difference being shown there. Otherwise, GM wouldn't just put a suspension on there, right? But just cruising around through the city, it's good. The tire noise compared to these, to the run flats, it's a quiet tire. It grips. The crazy thing about this tire, though, that I have learned so far, is that when it's cold, it picks up a crap ton of rocks. I don't know, have you guys noticed that? Have you got your 1LE in time yet? Because I know it's probably in the build status. I hope you guys get your Camaro. But like, I noticed that when the tires are cold, it picks up a crap ton of rocks. But when it's warm, man, it is sticky. It's like super glue sticky. That's how good these tires is. I would suggest anybody to like stay with these tires, and then once you learn these tires, move on to something else. But the pops though, listen. Oh yeah. Second. Brings a nice smile to my face, man. A nice nice smile to my face. Wade's looking out because she know I'm being ignorant right now. But yeah, man, like, and I'm in track mode going through all of this because I said before I like driving in track mode, and it don't feel that bad to me right now because this is what I wanted. I wanted a track car. I wanted a car that to be aggressive, and this right here is a little bit better than the SS. It's small, but I can tell the difference because I had a 2SS and moved up to a SS1 Elite. And if you guys get a chance to do that, or if you had done that, you probably feel the same way. So I'm going to do a little highway pull, and then after that, that's going to wrap it up for this video, because there are some things that I don't care for the 2S, which I can make it optional. Like, for example, like the wireless charging back here, I don't really use that, but I use it more now for like my cameras and putting my phone back there and other little objects, because it's more usable now versus the wireless charger. I never use that. Everything slides back there, so that's pretty nice. The cup holders and stuff is the same as my last one. The armrest is the same. But I suggest you buy this car, yeah, because look, I bought it again, just in a different trim, and I feel like it's one of the best you can buy. And also in a manual, because I feel like they're trying to kill the manuals, and they're very hard to, the manual's gonna be very hard to come by soon. So get it made it with the manual. It definitely changed the experience of the car. I feel like when you get an automatic, you got to keep adding power for it to be fun, versus with a manual, playing with it, learning the gears, learning the whole dynamic of the car is way more fun because you're doing it yourself. Let's see, can I get a nice pull on the highway? Yeah, man, that's gonna wrap this video up. The overview. This is my personal overview of this vehicle. There's nothing bad about it. If there's some things I would change, yeah, such as like the cold air intake, I suggest you to do that, because actually, since I had one sitting in the house, I did put on my cold air intake, and I just did that so I can give you a difference on like the sound tube delete, and that's what I did on here. And it's crazy because the 2SS and 1LE doesn't have a sound tube, but the 1SS does. So that's something to be aware of, but it does. I feel like it doesn't affect the performance of the car, but I do feel like I hear the cold air intake a little bit more. It sounds weird versus when I did have it. But like that, man, that's gonna wrap this video up, my overview of it. If you guys like this video, be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.